Hi there, slightly different style of video today. I wanted to talk to you like I would with my friends, so less of a tech review style and more just kind of showing you some of my new gadgets. But going beyond just showing off a new gadget, I'm going to tell you how I solved a massive problem that I've had for a few months now. So grab yourself a coffee or a cold beverage. It's absolutely boiling here in the UK. But today I wanted to take you through something that I've been meaning to do for a while, which is replacing this fairly expensive 8K TV with a projector. I know what you're thinking. Projectors usually mean like compromises, like having dark rooms or having to put up with, setup issues or bad image quality as well. And I think I found the solution, but without any of those compromises. Let me show you. Just take this camera out. This here is the Valerion VisionMaster Pro2. I actually saw this in Germany last year, and oh my gosh, as soon as I saw this, I was like, I really want to try one of these. And it not just looks amazing, but you're gonna see in a moment, it performs like nothing I've seen at this size. Is really a feat of engineering what they've done here. There's a lot to talk about, but rather than just going through specs, let's just kind of set it up and see how it works. Actually just occurred to me as I was putting this in place that even if I wanted a larger TV to go into this space instead of a projector, I couldn't do it, because this one is a 65 inch and it was a nightmare to bring it up here, because obviously the box will be bigger. My space here is it looks nice on video here, but I'll show you what it looks like outside. It's a very old industrial building. And that's a problem a lot of people will have in smaller flats as well. To bring in, a large TV, like a 100-inch TV, for example, it just wouldn't be possible. I would have to break the windows here or something, because you just can't do it in this stairwells that I've got here. So the projector is actually a decent solution for that too. Here's a quick breakdown of the essential specs just to give you some context. The VisionMaster Pro2 is a native 4K projector with 3000 ISO lumens of brightness, support for Dolby Vision, HDR10+, and even IMAX enhanced. It's got dynamic tone mapping, which you usually only see in projectors double the price of this one. Performance-wise, it's got 400GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, and I'll tell you why that's important in a moment, but it basically runs very smoothly on Google TV. That's the specs for now, but don't worry, I'll show you all the detailed specs and features on screen as we go, so you don't miss anything. Oh, and one more thing, the other reason I wanted a big screen here is days like this, summer days here in the UK, there's so many cool sports events. I love watching sports on TV, and it's not the same to watch it on a tablet or on your mobile phone or even on a big TV like this. So having a projector for sports is really awesome, and I've got one at home, but I think it's really nice to have this when I'm working as well, to have it in the background. And I want to use this screen as a backdrop as well for my videos. So there's a lot of reasons for me to wanting this big screen. It's not just an excuse to review a projector. Of course, it's all about the projector, but we couldn't really project into just the wall, right? So we need a really good screen. And as you can see, I'm not in a decent space here for projecting anything. There's windows there, windows here, windows at the back, reflections everywhere. And it's just not ideal for projecting. But I went for this ALR screen, which is fantastic. And I'm gonna be mounting this on this wall. I've got one at home that kind of comes off the floor. This one is one that you could put it on a frame and you mount it. And honestly, of course it will reflect what you want, which is the light from the projector, but it ignores sun coming from that side, any ceiling lights, anything like that. Honestly, on the one that I've got at home, I can watch it with the curtains open during the day, no problem at all. Of course, in the dark is always gonna be better, but during the day is not an issue with this screen. Now, what I'm not looking forward to, I've got to be honest, is doing any DIY. It looks pretty straightforward to put it up. Just bear with me. I'm sure the projector is amazing, but the screen itself is such an amazing tech as well. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to put together, but I could do this myself, just with a screwdriver and my hands. So, and I'm not that good at DIY. And the fact that I managed to put that up there by myself tells me that a lot of you will be able to do this by yourself as well. I'm just a dad, and I had absolutely zero help. And what's really impressive is how it really rejects light. I mean, clearly behind me here, as you can see, middle of the day, sunlight coming into the room, and it's actually hitting the screen if you look at it from an angle, but when you look at it directly in front of the screen, let me see if I can show you on the camera. There's no light when you look at it like dead center. Of course, there's a little bit, you know, you can't reject every single light ray that comes in. But when you come to the side a little bit, then there's a lot more reflections in there. But that's doing a really good job at this. And as soon as you go in front of it, the screen goes dark. It's incredible to see, really. The camera probably isn't doing it justice, but we're gonna put some images on it now so we can watch some movies and play some games. And this is one of the many reasons I'm so happy with this projector. Without having to stress about settings or having a dedicated dark cinema room for this, you know, I'm able to play AAA games and not even notice that I'm playing on a projector. Of course, you know, if you want to play competitive games, you need a dedicated monitor and all of that. But to be able to even be watching movies during the day in this room, it's crazy to me. You know, that is not possible with many projectors out there. Now, this right here is why Valerion is a cut above the rest. To be delivering black levels like this, despite the challenges I have in this space, it's just incredible. You may have just missed their Amazon Prime Day deals, but honestly, keep checking the link I'll leave for you down below, because they are always having some incredible deals on them. Sometimes it's not just discounts, but discounts and some bundles as well. By the way, don't forget to read the manual. I never read it myself, but there was a point where I needed to figure out what the right distance is for my screen size. And the manual has this page, which tells you exactly where to put the projector. So yeah, don't throw this away too soon. Well, I'm 90% done with the project. I just thought I'd record this as raw as it is. We're kind of getting into the evening part now, which will be fun, playing some games and watching some movies. But I just thought I'd share with you what I discovered in this whole process. So I think, you know, the main thing for me is how good it is to watch it in daylight. I've said this many times already, but I just want to re-emphasize that because it's such a revelation really for a projector to be this good in such a challenging, even now that it's, you know, kind of, you know, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the evening in the UK, the sun's still shining, you know, it's sunset basically. And it's not ideal really. For most projectors, that would be a problem. And I've got my studio light on as well, and I can still see the screen absolutely perfectly. And the other thing to mention as well that just occurred to me is the noise. You can definitely hear it. It's not, you know, completely silent, but it's a noise. I mean, for me, again, this building isn't perfect for many reasons. One of them is I've got a road right here with, you know, cars going past all the time. All the windows are open right now, so I get a lot of noise anyway. So it doesn't bother me. But if you are in a very, very quiet space, this, you know, sitting close to it might be a slight annoyance depending on, you know, how loud you've got your speakers as well. Because once you've got the content going, you can definitely not hear anything coming out of this. I'm going to try and record it here, but it's going to be very tricky to reproduce this on YouTube. I've got my ear right next to it, and it's hard right now for me to hear it. All right, let me know if you heard anything there. Now, I don't really plan to move this thing a lot of times. I think it's going to be stationary for most of the time, but it's so nice to be able to move it. But there's a really neat feature with this projector, which means if you do move it around, it's really quick to kind of reposition itself. So you don't need to spend a lot of time kind of, you know, fiddling with the whole setup again, you know. So that's really convenient. So if you want to go from your living room to your kids' room or take it to a neighbor, you know, for, I don't know, a football match or whatever, it's awesome. It even has a obstacle avoidance. So if there's a plant or a bit of furniture in the way, it will know that that's there. You know, all you have to do is tick this option and it will avoid it. So really, really convenient. Now, something that's quite unique about this projector is the design. It's the thing that when I saw in Berlin last year, it was like, oh my gosh, you know, this looks so futuristic, but also, especially if you go for this walnut tripod here, I mean, this combination of metal and walnut is so good. It will look amazing in any living room or any space, really. It's kind of one of those conversation points, right? Someone walks in and they'll go straight for that, what is this? So it's not that black box that you usually get, right, with projectors. It's a nice conversation starter, really. Now I know it's just a projector, right? At the end of the day, is doing the projector job, but it's so nice to have that design aspect, because anything into your living room, you don't want to be struggling to hide it, right? Some of these things you actually want to show off and have it on display. Of course, the shape, the material, even the way it feels when you pick it up, you can tell that there's a lot of good engineering going on here. But the other thing is the small details, like the power brick, for example. This is the UK version, so it's a little bit bigger. But just the thought that went into making it small enough that it's easy enough for you to plug it anywhere and not be in the way. Sometimes you get these massive cables, almost like a computer one, with huge bricks and thick cables. This one here is almost like a laptop, a modern laptop charger. Really nice touch, and the same goes for the control as well. It's feels really modern. Looks quite easy to find in the dark as well. Again, small things, right? It's the sort of thing that, on a day-to-day, it's going to make a big difference. And it feels very tactile as well. It's got nice light when you press it and a little, bit of a nice click to it as well. Those details that I do appreciate. So there you have it, just making the most of the sun here because it's quite rare in the UK, but hopefully it's not too distracting. But the VisionMaster Pro 2 from Valerion has completely transformed my space here, especially with that ALR screen and the walnut stand as well. But I'm curious to know, would you change your TV, like a large TV, for a projector? Because I just did, and honestly, I'm not looking back. I'm loving this space. I'm loving what I'm getting out of this. Like a much bigger display, a much more immersive experience when watching movies, watching sports, and playing games as well, which has been fantastic. I'm now getting a cinematic image. It was very easy to set up, smart features, all the modern stuff that you expect to get these days for kind of a fraction of the price that you normally get, in terms of some of the features that you're getting with this projector, like the optical zoom. So make sure to check the link in the description. There's going to be a QR code somewhere on the screen as well for you. And let me know in the comments if you did get one, and hope to see you soon. Cheers.